Thank you. Thank you for your time appearing before us today, Director Enge. I wanted to follow up on my colleague, the ranking member. He asked the question about the policy in Coleman Prison. And I wanted to know, you made reference that books are available from a library, but this policy says that books are banned from publishers, bookstores, book clubs, and friends and family. You said you weren't aware of it, and I understand that. My question is, can you do a memo or some type of communication to all of the prisons under your authority that under no circumstances would books be banned?
Representative Bass, again, thank you for the follow-up on that question. And I will certainly communicate if there's a misperception that we are withholding educational and recreational books, legal books of any form, because that's certainly not the case.
So this doesn't seem to, I would just encourage you to follow up with Coleman, because this doesn't seem to be a misperception. This seems to be a directive from that prison, and I certainly hope that this is the only case that such a policy was distributed.
So after this hearing, I'll certainly review that memo.
Thank you. I wanted to ask you about women who are incarcerated and who are pregnant. I know that it is the general policy of the Bureau that a woman is supposed to notify the Bureau if she is pregnant, but it's also my understanding that you test all women inmates. This question.
Okay, I'll need to confirm that aspect. I have certainly researched these aspect of that our processes of how we care for women in pregnancy. But I'm assuming, but that's a bad thing to do in a hearing, that we do a test of.
Are you aware that in some prisons that when a woman is pregnant, that she is shackled and has restraints on her throughout her pregnancy, including in her third trimester, as well as during labor and delivery? Are you aware of that?
I know that does not happen in federal institutions, yes.
Well, I think that it does, because there have been a number of lawsuits filed against prisons because of that. I wanted to know if you had ever heard of any instance in which an inmate has either attempted to escape or escaped from states. Now, there's a number of states and state prisons that prohibit or severely restrict the use of restraints on pregnant inmates in their third trimester during labor, delivery, or postpartum.
Representative Best, no, I have not reviewed the state's practices in this time of year. I have specifically reviewed our practice in the Federal Bureau of Prison. Know for a fact.
So you don't know of any
I know for
instance.
a fact we have not shackled a woman in any stage of pregnancy during the time I've been here, nor can anyone remember a time in recent history where.
Okay, so maybe we should let you know about lawsuits that are pending.
I'll ask those questions again as I go back.
How do you determine whether a pregnant inmate has received adequate care? So my office has met with correction officers who've raised concerns about staffing shortages, and there's medical, there's also nutrition. What is the protocols?
So at the Federal Bureau of Prison, of course, we have a Health Services Division. We have both trained medical personnel throughout our system, as well as medical administrators, members of the Public Health Service.
So are there specific protocols around the nutritional needs and health needs of pregnant inmates?
Though I have not personally reviewed that, I speculate there is, and I will confirm it upon return to our central office.
Also, if you could document for me, and I know you don't have this information now, but I would like to know the number of women who are pregnant in prison and delivered in the last couple of years, and what the outcomes. How many delivered normally, how many delivered through C-section, and what were the birth outcomes?
We'll go back and research that. I certainly don't
I
have
would
that.
also like to know about private prisons that are under your authority. Are there differences in terms of protocol, in terms of the health care as well as nutrition, how it's handled?
Certainly. So we have 11 private prisons currently that we use from 3 different providers that predominantly address criminal alien low population. Within our contract, there's absolutely standards of appropriate medical care, and we check on that. We have on-site personnel that check that.
So are all of the private prisons for immigrants?
So for the 11, the predominant reason we use in the federal system private prisons is for criminal alien low custody. By statute, of course, we have also some DC offenders in our facilities as well.
I would like to know about
The gentleman's
that as well.
time has
Thank you.
expired.